We have covered so much incredible ground today. Even heard from fellow speakers about the power of Gemma already. It's fitting that we finish our DevFest session with a dedicated deep dive into this exciting technology. Before we dive in with my talk, let me take a moment to give a huge thanks from Google Developer Group Ahlen to Jetta Chan. His work is vital to our community, specifically for preparing the amazing presentations, more than 300 slides, which we can use in our talks, and for hosting the invaluable Train the Trainer Gemma weekly training. Thank you, Jetta, for empowering us. Now, for our final session, I want to invite you on a journey into the world of Gemma, Google's family of open models. Let's officially start my session, Journey into the World of Gemma. In this talk, we will explore Gemma, Google's family of open models, and understand how they fit into the broader landscape of AI development. We will start with a quick look at large language models or LLMs and then move on to understand how Gemini and Gemma are related and what makes open models so powerful. From there, we will talk about how Gemma was developed responsibly, following Google's AI principles, and take a brief look at Gemma's release timeline since it launched in 2024, just last year. Finally, we will see how you can get started with Gemma today. By the end of this session, you will have a clear picture of what Gemma is, why it matters, and how you can begin building with Gemma. So, what exactly is an LLM? Most of us have probably heard the term by now, but let's quickly break it down. An LLM or large language model is a type of artificial intelligence system that's been trained on vast amounts of text data. Throughout this training, it learns to recognize patterns in language, allowing it to understand, generate, and even reason about text in a way what feels remarkably human. These models power many of the tools we use today, from chatbots and writing assistants to coding helpers and translation systems. Now, not all models need to be massive to be useful. That's where Gemma comes in. Gemma belongs to a new class of smaller, efficient models, often called small language models or SLMs. SLMs still offer strong linguistic and reasoning capabilities, but are lighter, faster, and more resource friendly, making them ideal for local or edge deployment while maintaining impressive performance. Before we dive into Gemma, let's take a step back and talk about Gemini because understanding Gemini gives us the right context for what makes Gemma special. So, what exactly is Gemini? I hope everyone use it at once. So, Gemini is Google's flagship family of generative AI models designed to handle a wide range of tasks from reasoning and coding to multimodal understanding. Google's broader AI ecosystem includes the Gemini family at its core. The Gemma models as open, lightweight companions and other specialized models such as Imagen for images or VO for videos. Gemini represents the most capable and versatile model Google has built. It runs on Google's secure infrastructure and can be accessed throughout multiple channels. The Gemini website for general users, Google AI Studio for developers and experimentations, and Gemini API for integration into applications and workflows. The simplest way to think about Gemini is this. It's Google's best model, built to compete with the best in the world and ready to use right out of the box without you need to worry about setup or infrastructure. But Gemini need internet. Gemma is Google's family of open models. Gemma is built on this same research and architecture as Gemini, but one important difference is open. While Gemini runs on Google's servers and is used throughout online services, Gemma can be downloaded and used anywhere, even without internet. You can run it on your own computer, in the cloud, or even on smaller devices. And today we saw at hands-on workshop how you can use it from your mobile. In simple terms, that's what we mean when we say open model. Gemma gives AI developers, researchers, and learners more freedom and control. Built on the same strong technology as Gemini, but open for everyone to explore, customize, and build with. Gemma is smaller than Gemini, and that's actually the point. Yes, while Gemini is Google's most powerful and large scale model, Gemma was designed to be lighter, faster, and easier to use. So, smaller models like Gemma can run on regular laptop, cloud environment, or even mobile and edge services, making AI more accessible and flexible. So, instead of focusing only on size or power, Gemma focuses on efficiency and accessibility, giving developers more options to experiment, fine tune, and deploy AI wherever they need it. For example, for my project, I use Gemma exactly because I can fine tune and I can control more. Being small can actually be a big opportunity, and that's exactly what SLMs are made for. Large models like Gemini or other full scale systems need huge amounts of computing power and electricity to handle almost any kind of request, no matter how simple or specific it is. But with a smaller, fine-tuned model, you can on exactly you can focus exactly what your users need. By training a small model on specialized data, you can make it just as smart within a certain topic, but lighter, faster, cheaper to run. So, Gemma is much responsibility and sustainability. For example, you could create an AI that knows everything about dentistry without wasting resource on things like baseball statistic or Pacific weather patterns. In other words, with smaller models, you decide what the AI knows, filling in only what matters to your project and leaving out everything unnecessary. Let's think about when open models make the most sense to use. If you create a small project or if you care about where your AI runs, open models give you that flexibility. You can run them in the cloud, on your own server, or even right on user's device. This means more control over access, privacy, and costs, which is very crucial. Also, open models are a great choice if data privacy is important to you. If you want that all users' prompts was privacy as much as possible. Since you decide where the model runs, your data, including all prompts, all responses, stays in your environment. no outside systems involved. And open models are useful if you want to customize AI with your own data. You can download the model, modify it, and train it to be better, match your specific needs or use cases. So, there are a few things to be aware of when using open models. One important point is that having more choice and control also means taking on more responsibility. When you decide where the model runs, whether it's on a server, a personal device, or in the cloud, you are also responsible for the costs involved. That could mean managing server bills or thinking about battery and performance on mobile devices. Another thing to keep in mind is that smaller models like Gemma have limitations because they need to run on everyday hardware. They are built with fewer parameters than large models like Gemini. That means they may not have as much general knowledge or handle complex tasks quite as well. This is where the difference between large language models LLMs and small language models SLMs becomes important. A helpful way to think about it, more parameters are like more brain power. Bigger models can understand and generate more, but they also need a lot more computing power to run. Smaller models are lighter and more efficient, greater for running locally, but naturally they know a bit less. Gemma is designed with great care to make sure it's safe and used responsibly. One of the best thing about Gemma is that it shows how Google builds AI responsibly. This means Gemma is designed to be as safe as possible from the start. It's carefully tested, and those test results are shared publicly. Google also provides helpful tools and resources so that anyone using Gemma can keep following good, responsible AI practices. Gemma is updated regularly with new releases to keep improving it. So, how often does Gemma get updated? Let's take a look. This timeline shows the main Gemma release since the first one in early 2024, grouped by generation. It doesn't include every single update, no, just the main core and mobile releases, but you can see that Gemma is improved and released regularly. Gemma first came out last year, 21st of February, and it has two sizes, 2 billion parameters and 7 billion parameters. People gave good feedback right away. Non-English speakers liked it most. Gemma's text handler, called a tokenizer, works well for many languages. It perfect works in German language. I use it many times to practice. So this means fewer fixes needed for odd characters, like breaking them into parts. And in April last year, they quickly added Gemma 1.1. It fixes some small problems, bugs. Today, Gemma types still use this version as their base. The second generation of Gemma started in late June last year, of course, and the first release was Gemma 2 in two sizes, 9 billion parameters and 27. Then in late June, July, Google added the 2 billion parameter size, and Gemma 2 includes big changes in its inner structure. It also improved its abilities beyond just having larger sizes. Today, Gemma 2 ranks as one of the best models for languages other than English. It handles multiple languages very well overall. And as you can see from timeline, in October, Google held Gemma Developer Day in Tokyo. At the same time, the company released Gemma 2 for Japan. This is a special version of Gemma 2 available only in the 2 billion parameter size. Gemma 2 for Japan highlights Google's strong focus on the APAC region. It also emphasizes the company's support for non English languages. This version helped Google learn more about issues faced by non English users. The team fixed unwanted behaviors in Gemma to make it better for them. For example, it now respects the language in the user's question. If someone asks in Japanese, the model answers in Japanese instead of English. Simple changes like this create a big positive impact. And third generation of Gemma began early this year with the release of Gemma 3 across 1 billion, 4 billion, 12 billion, and 27 billion parameters size. It's a huge upgrade over Gemma 2, bringing upgraded multimodal and multilingual capabilities as well as a long awaited upgrade to context window length. Gemma 3 was followed a few months later with the release of Gemma 3N, amazing version. A Gemma variant designed specifically for on-device use cases and performance. Gemma 3N uses the same architecture as the next generation Gemini Nano and features not just incredible speed but also audio support for the first time. Trying Gemma is simple, anyone can do it. You can try out Gemma in any environment. In the cloud, deploy to a service like Google Cloud's Vertex AI or even a non cloud Google Cloud, or your local computer using tools like LLM Studio or Olama, or even on your phone in apps like the Google AI Age Gallery or your own custom apps developed with our libraries. Just download Gemma from your model hub or of choice, and you will be off to the race. So, uh, I'd like to mention, and image not visible, I'm not sure why. So, early we can use Gemma at Google AI Studio, but access to Gemma is no longer available on AI Studio. It's still available to developers throughout the API. But at Google AI Studio, it's not available anymore. It's really easy to get started and learn more about Gemma. Gemma models are available across popular model hubs, including Kaggle, Hugging Face Hub, and others. Wherever AI models are available, Gemma models are generally there. These model hubs represent communities where models and data sets are shared in a spirit of openness and cooperations, where AI practitioners can meet to collaborate and help drive the field and their understanding of it forward. On one of the most model hubs is, of course, Kaggle. Kaggle is the world's most welcome home for machine learning and data science. It's the same as GitHub for your code, but it's only for models. Kaggle is a great one-stop shop for AI exploration. On Kaggle, you will find the latest Gemma resources and information, robust Jupyter notebook support, similar to Code Lab, message board full of AI ML enthusiasts, competitions, cash prizes, hackathons, Olympiad. So for more information, check out Gemma on Kaggle at this link, or you can scan this QR code. So Kaggle has been host to some incredible data science competitions over the years. These are wonderful opportunities for you to find challenges matching your interests and skills, and some of them even has cash prizes. Competitions are important even after they end as well. So feel free to join one of amazing competition at Kaggle. And to get started with Gemma on Kaggle, the first thing to do is to find the Gemma model card, which looks like this at this slide. But note, if you never heard the term model card before, it's a concise summary of a model's capabilities and intended use cases. If you haven't requested access already, you will see a notification informing you of the need to request access. So if you are following along, go ahead and hit that button. And having hit that button, it's now time to make a gem access request. First, you'll need to choose an account to use for consenting to the Gemma terms of use with. This can be a Kaggle account, a Hugging Face account, a Google account, or just an email address. Then you will need to read and agree to the Gemma terms of use. That's about all there is to it. No waiting time or anything like that. You should be granted access immediately. That's it for our introduction. We discussed LLMs, Gemini and Gemma, open models, and why they are great, Google's responsible approach to AI, testing, getting access to Gemma on Kaggle, along with World of Kaggle. So, we have reached the end of today's session, and now it's time for questions. So I see we have questions in our chat, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask about anything in LinkedIn or at our Google developer group, Ahlen platform. Thank you all for joining today's DevFest. It was 6 hours amazing event. So, this session was recorded and later will be shared at our YouTube channel, Google Developer Group Ahlen. Hope to see you in our next sessions. See you.